And everyone, we have come to the third game, the final game between WhiteRa, or Duckload Ra, versus Liquid TheLittleOne. And those were a couple of really amazing games before, really unique builds out of both players. We saw a very early Colossus timing attack in the previous game, and the game before that, there was this really great drop play by the Little One with a transition into Marine Thor that was just looked absolutely like the Little One's style. So here this SCV is coming out to plant the supply depot right here next to the Vespine Geyser, and Pylon coming out for the Protoss player. Now, this map is a little more straightforward than the previous two maps. Shakur's Plateau is a gigantic map in which fast expansions are certainly the norm. And Scrap Station is just kind of a weird map with some strange geometry in which drop play is so fundamental. Well, how about this map? This is a pretty normal map. You can drop, but it's not particularly powerful. You can expand, but it's not particularly great. I mean, the expansions are a little bit open, but there's a pretty long push distance. So it's just kind of a middle of the road map. You could see just about anything here. Assimilator going down and gas going down. So the same one base tech builds from both players. Very normal in this matchup. Certainly not the only thing that you can do in this matchup, but very normal. Barracks finishing. We're going to see that orbital command start immediately. Oh yeah. Gets that. Oh. Huh. Something was a little bit funny here about DLO's timing. I am not sure what that is, but I'm not going to focus on it too much. Cybernetics scored going down. Yeah, really not varying it up too much in the early stages, although DLO has put down a tech lab very quickly. So I may have been right, actually. He may have done something like refinery right after barracks instead of building a couple more SCVs first. I think that's what he did. So I think we might actually be seeing something like a fast Reaper. Oh, I'm sorry. We're seeing... Whoa. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. TLO is going for a fast Marauder and extremely quick stim. Now, it's much more ordinary to see a quick concussive shells rather than quick stim, because the Marauders, if you micro them really well, they can do a lot against Protoss gateway units with that concussive shell. So you can do something like get a couple of quick Marauders and expand with concussive shell. But I've never seen stim this fast. I've never seen it. Robotics facility, fast robotics facility again going down for WhiteRa. So he will know about this pretty soon, but there's no way he expects that the Little One researched stim. I mean, he's got to see this and think that he's getting concussive shells, but stim. Nobody gets stim that early on one gas. Nobody. He's also getting a command center, and I think he has about the right amount of money for a factory now, so I might expect to see that going down any second. But going out for a push here. 3 Marauders, 1 Marine, and just 1 SCV now. So WhiteRa cannot possibly be familiar with this push timing. This is a very unusual time to be pushing out with units, and you would be unlikely to expect stim to be involved. And that stim is finishing just at the perfect time, just as the Little One gets right near Duckload Ra's base. And there is 2 more barracks going down, no factory, and good force field going up. This SCV is going to be killed. No stim yet from TLO, which is good. He should wait until he is in firing range to do that stim, and he's going to stim up here any second now. And there it is. There's the stim. He's probably going to try to snipe. What is he going to try to snipe? Looks like he's going to go after that stalker, and now he's going to go after these sentries. And wow, killing 2 stalkers and 2 sentries, and now he's going to be able to do pretty good work against this zealot. Marauders, surprisingly horrible against zealots. Let me just quickly remember these numbers. It's some absolutely astonishing number of hits. Like, it's like 19 hits or something for a Marauder to kill a Zealot. It's I worked this out the other day, but I seem to have forgotten the number. Kills another Stalker, doing so well with this stim. Of course, the one thing about stim is it does hurt your own units, so these Marauders with 8 health and 15 health are going to have to retreat now. But TLO, in the meantime, Command Center almost up and transitioning into a bunch of barracks. Now WhiteRa's Observer is going to come in and see exactly what the Little One's transition is going to look like. By the way, looking at the Units Lost tab, you can see how much more white load... Wow, I feel like I'm not the first commentator to make this mistake. We can see WhiteRa has lost considerably more in that exchange, and that's a lot. 600 minerals is a lot to be behind at this stage. Good scan there by TLO, picking off that Observer. Good to do that. Protoss, it's a little bit counterintuitive because Observers are really not that expensive. It's not so clear whether they're worth the cost of the mule, just in terms of the resources. But it's so hard for Protoss to get a well-positioned Observer because almost never do you see Observer speed researched by the Protoss. So their Observers are going to be moving really slow the whole game, and for them to have an Observer all the way over here on your side of the map, they have to rebuild that Observer, which means they cannot build anything else out of this robotics facility at that time, and they need to send it all the way back over, and so it really the cost of that Observer is larger than its actual cost, its actual market price. Just wanted to point that out. So those scans are quite a good idea. Reactor going down on this factory. Is he going to use that to make Hellions, or is he going to switch this reactor off maybe with this starport? A big push coming in, though. A couple of Immortals. This lone Marauder getting trapped outside is certainly going to be killed any second. Although, I don't know, maybe his friends are going to save him. This Immortal almost getting taken out. No, Marauder does die. Oh, the Mortal goes down, though. Nice force field. These Zealots are going to get some good hits in on these Marauders, but concussive shell being done means that these Zealots are in a lot of danger. So another good force field going down. TLO is going to have to micro his heart out here. Zealots so excellent against Marauders when they can get up close and do their hits. WhiteRa just trying to get out of here now. Might put down some more force fields if he has the energy, which he does not. Just going to push up here. Wow. This is some aggression. More Zealots just pouring in. And TLO doing a great job with this micro. The Zealot's getting trapped a little bit in this hallway here. He's going to pull out SCVs to block now. And TLO should be able to clean this up pretty well. But he's taking some damage. Looking at Units Lost tab. Oh, we've been in the Units Lost tab the whole time. It actually seems like Duckload might have gotten the worst of that exchange in the long run, just because TLO did such a good job microing back and forth. On the other hand, it's not only about resources, sometimes it's about attention as well. During that battle, WhiteRa was able to get his Nexus up and running, and TLO was really not in a position to be dropping or counterattacking. So, WhiteRa could be in a quite good position. If you look at the Harvester tab, they are pretty much dead even. 41 now to 41. WhiteRa is doing better because he is doing better in income because he has had a little bit longer to have this expansion up and running and get those Harvesters evened out between the two bases. Meantime, just one gas at the expansion for both players, another one going down for TLO. And Colossi are out. So, very different order. And I like seeing this, where you see a build done in two different games by the same player, but you see it done in completely different ways. Notice this is exactly the same idea as the previous game, that push that worked so well. Nice harassment here by these Hellions, and he's also going to see exactly what the Protoss is planning, or approximately. Namely, he has gotten this early Colossus, and ooh, a few Marauders coming in, going to try to snipe this Colossus, not going to do very much damage to it. Oh, but a distraction to do this nice elevator drop here, and he is going to snipe that Colossus, and he might even snipe this entire robotics facility, which would certainly spoil WhiteRa's plans. Oh my god, that was a really sharp timing, and he might even snipe this before the Thermal Lance goes down. He does not. This Thermal Lance will complete, but WhiteRa does have to rebuild that robotics facility to get any more Colossus out. So huge delay there for WhiteRa, because I was going to say, he does have exactly the same look as his previous game, where he went for basically 3 gateways and a robo, and got Colossus off of 2 bases. Really about the same idea, but that was completely spoiled because he lost one of his Colossus and he could not get the other one out in time. So TLO really denying that strategy from WhiteRa, putting up 2 more barracks and a command center, and you can see the transition that WhiteRa is doing. He said, okay, well, I couldn't spend that money on those Colossi because this robotics facility was taken out. So I'm going to get a couple more gateways, and we see that he's put down a Twilight Council. So we're probably going to see a transition into some other phase of this. He does want this robotics facility up. It's a very important structure, and he did get that thermal lance. So yeah, we are going to see some more Colossi, which is good. Don't want to waste that thermal lance, but he now has 5 gateways up, and it looks like he was getting ready to take his 3rd base. Now in the meantime, what is going on for TLO? Putting up a couple of bunkers, because he is rightly expecting that big Colossus push from WhiteRa, but a little bit delayed. Of course, that push isn't coming. WhiteRa has moved on to a different kind of plan, and TLO is, well, he's not going to really see too much here. He's going to snipe a pylon at the cost of a marauder and run away. Oh, drop going on here. Going to get another pylon and probably leave. Or, no, he's going to harass, and part of this goal is to try to scout. He's going to snipe this pylon, but he's also going to see all of the key structures of the Protoss. He's going to see this Twilight Council. He does see the 2 extra gateways. And even though he's going to lose all of these units, that was some really useful information. He has his 3rd command center up, and will be lifting it at any moment. It's so nice playing with these players who actually listen to me. Lift up that command center. There you go. In the meantime, what is being produced? Psionic Storm. So that's what this Twilight Council was for. It was, where is that Templar Archives? There it is, tucked away over here. Protoss has gone for the Templar Archives. He might have built it here while the little one was over here so that he could not see that transition. Okay, so WhiteRa is about to have the 2 most important techs in the game in this matchup, which are Colossi and Templar. And Templar are probably more important because those Colossi end up being very vulnerable once Terran can get high Viking numbers, but